Hey, what's going on, guys? Felix here, and today I want to talk to you about the myth of mysticism when it comes to success and entrepreneurship. So, for a long time, I've been trying to do this. I've been entrepreneur. I've been aspiring entrepreneur for a long time, ever since I was in college, really. So, almost over a decade now, and for a long time, I struggled because I always wanted this goal of being, a self-made man, self-made person, and be able to have control of my life and be able to design a life I wanted and not have to work for someone else. Not because there's anything wrong working with someone else, but for me, I just couldn't see myself listening and taking orders from someone, having to go do what they say. And anytime I'm in a role like that, I'm still working a day job. I feel this angst, this struggle with trying to become my own person, trying to break out of this cocoon and become the butterfly. Right? I'm trying to self-actualize, become the person that I really want to be, which is an entrepreneur, and be able to work myself full time. And that's always my goal. And for a long time, I was just struggling and just doing anything and everything. I didn't have a plan. I just kept on just pursuing idea after idea, spending long, long hours into the night, not spending enough time with family, or friends, or my girlfriend, or then fiance, and then wife now. Spending more and more time on just trying to throw everything at this goal of becoming an entrepreneur, of working for myself, of building my own business. And I took this very mystical approach to it where I thought that the more I can sacrifice towards the goal of becoming an entrepreneur, becoming successful, becoming a self-made man, the more likely it would happen for me. I almost felt like I had to sacrifice all of these lambs in my life, and sacrifice more and more and more. And then the entrepreneurship, the success gods will listen to me and give me the blessings of having a successful business. That's the way I approached it. And I think it was for a couple of reasons. On the outside, I did this because I saw everyone else doing it. I saw all the other successful entrepreneurs struggle, spend a lot of time grinding, grinding, grinding. Like that was the mantra for a long time. And thankfully, it's kind of shifted since then, but it's still really prevalent in this industry, in this pursuit, right? Everyone says you just got to work your butt off, work your butt off. Like that is the advice everyone gives, which I think is annoying, to some degree, because it doesn't give you any information. Right? Yeah, work hard. What does that even mean, right? And that's what I kept on hearing: working hard, working hard. I didn't have a path. I just kept on just like spending hours and kind of spinning my wheels, running in circles. And that's what I was doing because I saw other people doing it. And on the inside, I think I was doing it because I was afraid that I couldn't make it happen. So the more I sacrificed and the more I didn't have a plan to follow, the more I kind of ran all over the place and just tried a bunch of different things out. I didn't have to blame myself. I just kind of blamed the fact that the gods did not decide to bless me. Right? I could just, if I had an exact plan to follow, exact path to follow, and that I knew would lead to success, and I ran down that path, and I failed, then it would be on me. It'd be my fault. Because it's in my hands. It's not in the hands of some mystical creature, mystical god that's going to grant me success. So it didn't work, right. I had some successes here and there, but for the most part, I was batting terribly. I was like batting. I was getting like a hit one every 10 times. Right, it wasn't good, and I knew something had to change. And recently, I had a podcast last week on Saturday, and had a podcast today as well, where I talk to these entrepreneurs. One guy has a $500,000 business. Another guy has this year is projected to gross over $900,000. When I was talking to them about how they got their success, they all told me that their approach was very methodical. They didn't take big risks. A lot of them. One guy actually has a $500,000 business and still works his day job because he enjoys it, but he doesn't take big risks. The mantra that you hear a lot with entrepreneurship is you got to go big or go home, take big risks. But he takes very calculated risks. And the guy I spoke to today, the entrepreneur I talked to today, also doesn't take big risks. He knows exactly what he's doing. He makes sure he knows the game plan before he gets started. And they take a much more methodical approach, which I believe is the opposite of the mystical approach of entrepreneurship, of any path towards a goal. You don't just sacrifice everything and throw everything at the board, which is the way that I used to do things. You follow a path, and there are frameworks, there are rules that you follow, and that can not necessarily guarantee success, but stack the odds so much in your favor that you're no longer running in circles. And after hearing that this last couple of weeks, it really cemented this thought that I had recently that I've been kind of developing too, which is that there is a path, and that the longer you stay on the path, the further you advance down it, rather than trying to go down one path and you kind of hit some roadblocks and then all of a sudden changing paths. You are basically, I was basically falling into the belief that there was some kind of mystical approach to success, where again, the more I sacrifice, the more the gods will bless me, which is not the right approach now that I'm learning. So the plan is that I'm taking now is just that I'm going to move forward, and then actually think about what is the step in front of me that I need to take that step. Okay, oops, that was a misstep. Let's figure out what I have to change and take the next step. Okay, that worked. And then let's keep on moving down this path. And now that's the approach that I'm taking. And it's done a couple of things for me. The first thing is that it has taught me a lot. I'm actually learning a lot because I'm staying in the game longer. And whether I apply it to this business or apply it to another business, I'm now actually getting lessons that are deeper into the game. Before, I was learning and playing at such a shallow level because I was abandoning the project each time. Now I'm actually deeper into the game. And a lot of it is just staying in the game, staying on the path. There is not a mystical, there's no mysticism to entrepreneurship. It is a game with rules and a path that you can follow. And a lot of times the successful entrepreneurs that have come before us have laid that path. And find the person that you want to follow and follow that path with them. And the other big thing that I learned about this was that I should stop trying to find a big hit. I should just stop thinking that I have some special gift to find some kind of lightning rod that I can just grasp some overnight success. And that doesn't exist. I'm going to follow this path and grind it out one day at a time. But I'm going to follow the path. I'm not going to do the sacrificial lamb approach anymore to entrepreneurship and try to sacrifice as much of my life. I'm going to take a very methodical approach, and then I will only take a step if it actually moves me closer towards a goal. And actually taking the time to think, does this move me towards my goal, or am I just making a sacrifice? I think that the more I sacrifice, the more likely I will have success come my way, which again, I'm learning does not exist. And so if you're thinking about starting a podcast and you want to know what is the path, what is the path that's already worked for other people? What is the path that people have already taken that's proven to be successful? It's all inside the Podcasting Secrets course. It's not just me teaching it, like I've said before. It is with other successful podcasters in multiple different categories coming on and teaching exactly what they would do if they lost everything. Their podcast was gone. They started with zero, ground zero again. What would they do if they had to get their first 1,000 subscribers? And again, don't just run around with your head cut off and try a bunch of different things and try to sacrifice a bunch of different things to the podcast gods. There is a path that has been carved out already. There might be more than one path, but the point is, don't try to figure it out yourself. Find a path that already works. Run down that path as fast as possible. And once you're in stride, then you can try to kind of be creative and test different things out and try your own way and see if see if you can carve a new path. But until then, find a path that's already been proven and run down that path. So again, Podcasting Secrets, if you want the course, it is the path that has led multiple podcasters to success. You can grab it over at podcastingsecrets.co/course. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.